I know a lot of you live very busy lives, and sometimes making time for your health and making time for your workouts can feel impossible. And most people will fall off the wagon with their diet and their workouts at least once, if not many times. And this can be a real struggle and make it harder to stay motivated. And so today, I'm going to share a few tips to help you handle life's curveballs, to help you keep the momentum going, and to get and stay motivated even when you feel like life is dragging you down.
Welcome to the vshred Better Body, Better Life podcast, where we help you live your best life while working on your health and fitness goals. We're here to make your journey fun and inspiring.
What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Sant. Excited to have you here on our latest episode of the vshred Better Body, Better Life podcast. Let's start with a few things that can absolutely derail your momentum pretty easily. And maybe this has already happened to you. These are a few scenarios of when life gets in the way, because maybe you're working extra hours at your job and maybe you can't work out in the morning and you're too tired to work out after work. And so you just don't ever find the time. Or maybe you're dealing with a family crisis or some sort of professional crisis at work. Maybe just physically and mentally you're tired, or you haven't been getting enough sleep lately, and so it's hard to do much of anything besides just try to get through the day. Or maybe you're busy taking care of your family and children, and you barely have any time for yourself. These are just a few things that can happen where we say life got in the way. And I know it sucks sometimes because you were super motivated and you were super inspired to make your health and your fitness a priority at the beginning. But then something happened that made it difficult to stay on track. Look, life can throw us curveballs at any time. It's virtually impossible to prevent a lot of the things that I just listed from happening, right? And when you make something new a priority, like losing weight or eating healthier, I can almost guarantee something will knock you off course, or at least try to knock you off course, or you'll be doing everything right and then you hit a plateau. And so your motivation starts to go down because you start to wonder if you're doing something wrong. And then life throws you a curveball or two or three, and you pretty much just stop. Well, I don't want that to happen to you. And so let's get into a few ways that you can keep that motivation level so high that nothing is ever going to get in your way. All right. So tip number one, give yourself permission to take a break. And I know this probably sounds completely counterintuitive. And so let me explain. When you start to feel overwhelmed, like everything is working against you, or like life is just too much, that's a sign you need to slow it way down. Remember, a lot of things happening are probably out of your control. A lot of stuff is out of our control, yet we stress about it. But the one thing that you can control is how you respond to that. And if you can tell yourself that you're choosing to respond to the situation by taking a break and giving yourself some breathing room, or simply coming back to it later, you'll be less likely to feel that sense of overwhelm and as though everything is falling apart. What this does is it helps you create some mental distance from the situation. It gives you space. And when it comes to getting that workout in or getting back on track with your diet, you can tell yourself, I can't do this right now. And so I'm going to take a break for 2 days and I'm going to come back to it. You do this little intercept so that it doesn't weigh you down. And then in 2 days, you see how you feel. And maybe you need another day or two. Now, obviously the goal here isn't to procrastinate all for endlessly, right? But you'll know when you're ready to take this on, and it has to feel right. You need to feel ready to follow through. And sometimes you just got to jump the gun and do it before you feel completely ready. But if you're overly stressed and you beat yourself up for not being able to get back up, that's just a recipe for disaster. And I see a lot of people fall into that trap, and that's the one thing that will keep you stuck. And so you have to be your own number one supporter. You got to be your own best friend. And that supporter is also the one that gives permission to say, it's okay, take a break. Because more often than not, all you needed was that little break instead of quitting forever. So try that sometime. And you might find that your motivation and your energy are much higher naturally, and you don't feel as guilty for taking a couple of days off because you committed to getting back on track after it. Tip number 2 now. I want you to revisit your goals and revisit your big why. So when you're in the middle of a crisis, or when you get super busy, or even when the scale stops moving, it's easy to forget about how motivated you were in the beginning, how motivated you were on day one, how excited you were to start, and how excited you were to achieve your weight loss or your fitness goal. That's why it's so important to keep your goals in front of you whenever you can and remind yourself of them. And you can do this in a few ways. And a lot of our clients have success with these. And so you can write your top 5 goals down in a journal, and you can keep them by your bed so that you do a quick scan of them before you go to bed. And this obviously helps to keep it fresh in your mind right before you doze off or right when you wake up in the morning. You could also put some inspirational photos or quotes up on your fridge or on your computer if you're more of a visual person. It's like a visual reminder of where you are going so that you can get there faster. And you just need to remind yourself throughout the day how important this really is to you, because it's easy to forget, especially your big why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want this so bad? Get clear on that and keep it in front of you to keep your motivation sky high. And finally, tip number 3, seek out an expert, because sometimes everything that's included in order to get in shape and stay motivated and keep yourself accountable really is too much, and having someone in your corner can make all the difference. And so if you're feeling really stuck and frustrated, remember, you can also work with one of my elite coaches one-on-one to help you get through that plateau, or to help you boost your motivation and to help you get faster results than you probably could on your own. And we do have some spots available in our VIP coaching program from time to time. And I mean, we have already had thousands of people achieve, crazy transformations. It's a 3-month program and we guarantee your results. And so if you need some help to get back on track, or you're just ready for some serious changes this year, I've dropped a link, should be down below in the description with some more information about how our one-on-one coaching program works. And if coaching isn't an option for you right now, remember, you can always ask questions in our Facebook group where we have coaches and a massive support group waiting to help you out. All you got to do is ask. But that wraps up today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of vShred's Better Body, Better Life podcast. Whether you're doing one of our programs, taking our supplements, or just doing things on your own, tune in every week for exclusive content with Vince, vShred trainers, and special guests as they share valuable tips around motivation, workouts, food, and living a healthier lifestyle. See you next time.